Cruella de Vil, Cruella de Vil. If she doesn't scare you, no evil thing will.
Oh,
to
Roger.
see her is to take a sudden chill. Cruella, Cruella. She's like a spider waiting for the kill.
Roger,
Look
she'll
out
hear
for
you.
Cruella de Vil.
My wig doesn't want to stay glued on. This wig almost made me quit. So clearly we're doing Cruella de Vil today. I've wanted to do Cruella de Vil for a really long time. I've had this wig, costume, everything since last year. I feel like a lot of the looks that I'm doing are looks that I wanted to do last year. I just never got around to it. So I'm gonna give you guys two options for Cruella de Vil. We're gonna do the regular Cruella de Vil, which is scary enough on her own. Like, Cruella de Vil used to scare the out of me when I was little. I just didn't like her. I didn't like that she was mean to the dogs. So that's why I'm gonna kill her in this tutorial. Well, I'm not gonna kill her. The dogs are gonna kill her. She's gonna be like a rabid Cruella de Vil, got bit, turned into a zombie. Got bit by a rabid dog, like a dog that had rabies. So that's why now she's crazy, which she was crazy in general, but oh my God, this wig is just like killing me. So I'm gonna give you just like, we're gonna do just like the regular version of Cruella de Vil. There's tons of looks like this. We're gonna do the one with the green eyeshadow. I just think that's the best one to do. The other one, she doesn't really have like a lot of shadow on, and the green eyeshadow I feel like just makes her. This is just going to be my interpretation of it, and again, we're gonna kill her. So first we're gonna do like the regular version of her, which again is scary enough on its own. Then we're gonna lose this because we're gonna do like a neck bite. I have a prosthetic, but I don't know if it's gonna be too big for my neck. So like I said, we're gonna lose this when we turn her into the scary version. But for now, we're wearing this outfit. So without further ado, let's turn ourselves into Cruella de Vil. And we're still watching Vanderpump Rules in case you were curious. So next we're gonna cover these brows because Cruella has super thin brows and these brows just will not work. So I'm gonna use a glue stick and a pair of tweezers because I just couldn't find my spatula. There are a million ways to cover your brows and this is just the way that works best for me. So I just take like a clump of the glue stick and start working it through my brow. The goal here is to get your eyebrows as flat as you possibly can get them so that they are just disguised underneath your makeup. So after I have a layer of glue, I'm going to set the glue stick with some translucent powder and boom, we have a covered brow. Next, we're gonna even out our skin tone. So I started with this color foundation first, which was just a little too close to my natural color foundation. So I'm gonna add a way lighter foundation in the mix. I believe that I'm using the TooFaced Born This Way foundation, but you can use whatever your little heart desires. And we're gonna put that same foundation right over our brows. Just make sure whenever you're working near your brows that you're always pushing into them and not rubbing so that you don't disturb the glue. And honestly, you could end the look right here and it would be just as scary. Here I'm just taking a white cream paint to go over the brow, again pushing into the brow so we're not messing up the glue underneath. This is just going to act as a guide for where our brows will be. This is going to be like our highlighted area. And for the brows, I always like to go in and start with an eyeshadow first just to kind of map out where I'm going to lay them down. Just in case you make any mistakes, it's going to be a lot easier to remove the eyeshadow than it would be to remove any kind of black paint. So usually I do my left eye on camera, but today we're gonna do the right because I actually messed up. As you can tell, well, actually I don't know if you can tell, but I moved my eyebrows down lower, so yeah, that's what happened with that eye. So to start it off, I'm just using my under eyebrow as kind of a guide as to where I want my socket to be, and I'm just taking a gray shadow and working that in there. Again, just be careful when you're up by your brow. Like I'm up by my brow right here and I'm using really light pressure just to get some color on there, but I don't want to disturb the brows hairs and have them like bust out of the glue. So just be cautious if you do cover your eyebrows. So we're just gonna work a gray shadow in the crease. We're gonna pop a green shadow. Oh no, we're not. We're gonna deepen the this crease up. We're gonna deepen this up with some black. I go back and forth between a black cream and a black eyeshadow just to really enhance that socket of our eye. So just keep working that in. Again, soft pressure. Don't disturb the glue stick. Don't disturb it. Now we're just gonna pop a green shadow on the lid. This is totally optional, but just in case the glitter wasn't gonna fully cover your eye, you wouldn't see like any of your natural skin tone underneath. So I'm just gonna pop on a green and then deepen up the crease some more before we add the glitter onto our lid. For my eyebrow, I'm just taking some black cream paint and I'm just gonna go right in there. I mapped it out once, but I knew what I was doing this time. So we're just gonna draw this on with some black cream paint, and then I'm going to set it with a black eyeshadow. Because this is cream paint, it will slip and slide all over the place if you do not set it. So again, if you're using cream, always set it. If I was using like water activated paint, I wouldn't really worry about it, but we're gonna set this with a black shadow. Then I'm just taking some glitter adhesive. I actually don't even think this is glitter adhesive. I think I was using like gel because I couldn't find any. And then popping on some green glitter, which I feel like totally makes the eye. Just remember with all glitter to be super duper careful when using it around your eye area because you do not want to get it in your eye. I've never gotten glitter in my eye. I just feel the need to tell you that because I know damage can happen. Again, we're going to deepen up the crease with just some black cream and then go over it with some black shadow. Okay, next for the nose, Cruella de Vil has like a very skinny, turned up nose. So I'm gonna shorten my nose. I'm just gonna cut it right where like the biggest part of my nose is, just to kind of create the illusion that we have a shorter nose. I suck at nose contouring. Like, it takes me forever. This part honestly took me the longest because I have a little slight bump in my nose and it was really hard for me to get it straight, but I feel like it really served the look justice. I was looking at a reference picture of Cruella de Vil and a picture that I found on Pinterest. I'm gonna try to find the actual artist because the way she did the nose was so cool. So I kind of went off the actual photo of Cruella de Vil and the photo of this girl that I found. So I will link her in the bottom bar as well. But this really took me a long time to do because I just could not get my nose straight. But I think in the end it turned out pretty good. So just take your time. Take your time. Next, I'm going to use some Snazaroo face paint. This is basically just like called clown face paint. Like if you were a clown and you had to paint your face every day, this is what you would use. I'm going to use this as kind of my concealer, highlight, pop the cheekbone situation. Plus I wanted her to be like a little more white, ghostly looking. And this is going to help clean up the nose contour as well. I'm going to take this all underneath my eyes, underneath my nose, over my nose, and on my top lip as well. To start off my contour, I'm just going to take a fluffy brush and some gray eyeshadow and start working that into like my natural cheekbone area. And then we're going to take a way smaller, little skinny flat brush to just define the cheekbones because she has like really intense cheekbones and I don't want to use like prosthetics or molding clay or anything like that on my face. So we're just going to try to do this all with makeup. We are going to carve out the face a little more with some black face paint in a minute just to give her like a more cartoony-esque vibe and to really help pop the cheekbones. So yeah, that's what we're doing here. Next, we're going to draw on some nostrils, and I'm just drawing straight from my regular nostril up onto my actual nose just to give the illusion that we have a turned up nose like Cruella's nose. I feel like this really helped complete the nose situation. You can do this nose anyway. I've seen people draw it outwards, I've seen them draw it upwards. I just went like based off of like my nostrils so that it would kind of just blend a little better. Next, we are going to overdraw the shit out of our lips, which is the norm anyways. And we're also going to extend our mouth out because she has like a very like straight across lip situation. So you're gonna see in a second that I'm going to extend the outer corners of the lip line. I usually do this in a lot of my Halloween looks, but I usually turn it up. For this look, I'm going to try to keep it going straight outwards just to give her more of a creepy Cruella appearance. And then we're gonna go over everything with a black cream paint as well, just to add some definition to the lips. You could totally leave it red if you wanted to, but I was giving her like more of a cartoony vibe, so that's why we're gonna use the black around the edges and then blend that into the red. Someone please tell me why I look like the fiercest drag queen in all the land. For underneath our eyes, I'm just going to extend that a little bit and keeping a little gap underneath just to add some white in between. You'll see what I'm talking about when I turn forward, but we're just gonna put some black cream paint and a little bit of gray shadow underneath our eyes. So this version of Cruella is basically done. I just brushed out my wig, threw on my cape and satin gloves, and voila, here she is. I actually really love how she turned out, and she still scares me. She does. Shall we make her scary now? Yes, I mean, she's pretty scary right now, but let's make her bloody. Okay, so for this version of Cruella, I'm not going to do a lot of talking because it's pretty self-explanatory what I'm doing. I'm going to talk through a little bit of it, like this prosthetic part. I'm just adhering to my neck with some spirit gum. It has to get tacky before you put it on. That's why I was touching it like that to speed up the process. And then we're just going to darken and deepen everything. We're going to hollow out her eyes, her cheekbones, underneath her lips. I eventually, when I get to the prosthetic on the chest, I was going to do like all these veins coming off it, and then I realized that I was just going to get covered up with the cape. So that was just an option. Like if you didn't wear the cape, you could have her bite wound with like veins coming off, like it was like super infected. Ew, that sounds gross. But I realized that the like little cape that I was wearing was gonna cover all that up, so she's just gonna get bloody and gory at the end. But like I said, we're just going to deepen everything up. I'm just using mixes of gray eyeshadows, brown eyeshadows, and purple eyeshadows to really get that deathly effect. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is how you make a shitty Halloween wig look good. You tease it till it's within an inch of its own life. After I teased it, I like this wig so much better than I originally did. So that is it for my 2 versions of Cruella. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys super duper soon in my next Halloween video. Bye, guys.